Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It is Friday morning. It is almost the frickin' weekend. We had, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to even say this, but we had an incredible finish last night. The Washington football team literally taking victory straight up from the Giants, and the Giants fans have to be going crazy right now. What an incredible finish that was to that game. I'm going to put up, we live streamed during that. And we had our exclusive meltdown cam. And I'll be honest with you, it was crazy because Stuart Morrison had ended up putting me and Rashid in a football pool. Had they not kicked the field goal, Rashid would have won $200. Washington makes the field goal, I get $200. Either way, one of the two of us are going to win and get paid. What a way to finish a game where it's live. You got the Copizzle camera on there. They kick the field goal, they miss. And I'm like, oh, damn, I lost. Pizzle's like, hey. And then, wait, there's a flag. And it was like, are you kidding me? They're going to get a chance to re-kick it. He literally he fell out. I actually felt bad for Copizzle. And I feel bad for Giants Nation because they were doing something that I hadn't seen that team do. That team was Jason Garrett-esque. That literally, you now as Giant fans understand how it feels to be Dallas Cowboy fans. We've had more games like that where we've done everything we should. We have missed opportunities like that pass that dude was literally wide open. He catches that pass, game over. You get a turnover there in the red zone and you have to settle for a field goal when a touchdown would put it out of range. You literally stop them. They miss the field goal, and they get a call. That, my friends, is Jason Garrettism at its finest. You're sitting there happy. You're excited. And in the end, towards the end of Jason Garrett's tenure here in Dallas, no matter how we were doing in games, because I've seen games where we were up by 21 points in the second half against the Lions twice and lose it. I've seen the Cowboys up by 26-3 at halftime against the Green Bay Packers, not with Aaron Rodgers, but Matt Flynn, and lose it. You got to the point where even though things are going good, you were saying in your mind, how are we going to lose this game? I know it's coming. It's going to be some freak way that we lose. And we did. The Dallas Cowboys came up with more creative ways to lose games instead of winning games. Because the Giants, they played one hell of a game. They just missed a lot of opportunities. Now, as a Cowboy fan, when we looked at results because of what we've been fed that Washington, Mike Greenberg, who was saying that Washington may be, one of the best teams in the NFC with that defense. I got to tell you guys, that defense has given up already 815 yards. 815 yards. They're averaging 407.5 yards a game giving up. Chase Young looks like he's in a sophomore slump. He's still a beast. But that front, Daniel Jones gashed him for 82 yards. Daniel Jones. And it would have been more had it not been for a penalty that was kind of a cheap penalty. He would have had a touchdown run. He was looking like Lamar Jackson. So now that I look at that, at first thinking that Washington had a top 5, maybe top 3 defense, and seeing Justin Herbert throw for 300 yards, you were really, really scared. But now I'm kind of questioning is San Diego really that good, or is it just Washington's defense is way overrated? Now, we're going in there shorthanded. Understand, we are missing DeMarcus Lawrence for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Probably count on it being more like the 8 weeks than the 6. He'll have that cast on, and then once he gets out of the cast, of course, you've got the atrophy that's going to happen. He's going to have to strengthen the leg, and it's not going to be in the shape that it is before he got the injury. It's going to take time to rehabilitate that and give him the strength and quickness that he had before the injury. So that is going to be a lingering problem for our Cowboys. We have Michael Gallup with the calf injury, and he's going to be out for, 3 to 5 weeks. That's going to hurt. Lyle Collins, 5 games suspension. It's not hearing anything from the NFL about overturning that, so that's going to hurt. And then, of course, we got Randy Gregory dealing with COVID. We have been hit, and even Donovan Wilson right now is dealing with a groin issue. And you got Demontre Kazee, I want to say thigh. So we're nicked up going to the Chargers. I keep wanting to say San Diego because it's a travesty that they left San Diego to go to L.A., that a lot of their fan base stayed in San Diego and said, we're not making that trip to L.A. I actually feel better about what our defense can do against San Diego. And make no mistake about it, when you have guys that are injured, it hurts. But sometimes you find a diamond in the rough, that somebody who just needs a chance to play and prove that they're the guy. I told you guys, I told you all off season, everybody going through, if Ryan Fitzpatrick can be the guy, if Ryan Fitzpatrick can, be more than what he's been, that Washington team's going to go far. And I kept saying, I fear Tyler Heineke more than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Because Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to turn over the football. And turnovers are key. Tyler Heineke only had one bad pass in that game, and he threw for over 300. He had a game-winning drive. You saw that Washington offense get in gear with Tyler Heineke. And I knew that Ryan Fitzpatrick would do his disappearing act, but I didn't think it would happen that quick. And to the point where Tyler Heineke feels like he should be the starter the rest of the season. And quite frankly, I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that for the Washington football team, because by the looks of it currently, that team's going to need to score some points. The defense isn't as stout as we thought. Now, for the Cowboys, it's a tall task. We don't want to go 0-2 and then facing the Eagles the following week. We need to right the ship and understand that, like Tyler Heineke, who was buried on the bench, got his opportunity, he shined, and all of a sudden it's kind of like, it's kind of I played pretty good. In the same way Dak Prescott. When Dak Prescott was drafted, not many of you saw him getting, a $160 million contract. I guarantee you, nobody saw that. Nobody saw what they actually said yesterday, that Dak Prescott was the best player in the NFL. 4th-round draft pick. Apparently, nobody thought that he was going to be that guy. But he got his opportunity and he shined. So this is a chance for Tarell Basham, Bradley and I to shine. But it's also an opportunity for, as I said, I think the Cowboys will use more of a 3-4 defense and get Micah Parsons out there in space and use his ability. And what you may find out is, damn, this defense, having those 3 down linemen, having Micah Parsons coming from the outside like a Lawrence Taylor, could be the key for the Dallas Cowboys defense. So as we look at this so far, and I guess maybe it's still a little early because you don't know what NFL teams are the first couple of games. We've been sold a bill of goods by who's going to be the great teams and everything else. Oh, everybody said last year, San Francisco, great team. But San Francisco never got out of the blocks, not out of the gate. People still believe Green Bay Packers are great, but, Aaron Rodgers starts having some problems where he normally covers up a lot of the problems of the team. If Aaron Rodgers' mind isn't in it, all of a sudden that team could end up being a non-playoff team. Opportunities don't come along very often. But when they do, you got to grab the bull by the horns. And this is an opportunity for some of these young guys on the Dallas Cowboys to take the bull by the horns and make a place for themselves. Now, I just had come across my phone here that Tyler Heineke to remain Washington's quarterback number one. Again, he got his chance. He got his opportunity. He made the most of it. And now you actually have to worry about the Washington football team's offense. So with that being said, you know, tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll be here. We'll be previewing what the Cowboys need to do against the L.A. Chargers. It still sounds funny. Where we go from here with the amount of injuries that we have. Do we look at signing some guys? Do we just go ahead and rely on the talent that we have here? What are our options to try and weather this storm? And, you know, we'll be updating you with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and you know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?